Gingrich, thanks for being here this
Good
morning.
to be here.
So my question is, these have not been warm embraces, and it was a tough campaign, and I get that that's a tough step to take. But do you think that it's time now to try to bring those who would follow you and say, listen to me, I do embrace this guy in, a whole manner, because he needs to move on, doesn't he, to get into the fall campaign?
Look, I think what he did this weekend is exactly right. He needs to draw the contrast with Barack Obama, whose campaign launch I thought was an absurdity.
Why?
Well, this is a president who talked about hope and change. What are the changes? More Americans lost their jobs since the Great Depression. More Americans lost their homes than any time in history. More Americans are in poverty than any time since the Great Depression. Higher gasoline prices. I mean, these are the changes under Barack Obama.
Okay, let me just, you know that the president's team is going to say, listen, we have, added jobs to this economy that we were hemorrhaging when he started, which is a fact. I mean, they were hemorrhaging jobs when he took over from George W. Bush, and he has added jobs, not enough jobs, which they concede, but he's added jobs, and people are being a little more bullish on the economy, and that's where this election is decided. So doesn't he sit pretty well?
I think he sits very badly once the facts are out, because the truth is the unemployment rate, if we had the same number of people in the workforce that we had on the day he was sworn in, it'd be over 10% unemployment. What Obama has succeeded in doing is actually driving people out of the workforce. So unemployment is down because there are fewer people looking for a job. But there's a deeper part. There is no recovery since World War II that is as weak and is lacking in jobs as this recovery. Now, if he wanted to campaign in 2010 and say it was George W. Bush's fault, that's one thing. But after 4 years, I mean, can you imagine Ronald Reagan in 1984 saying, oh, it's all Jimmy Carter's fault?
Well, but it is true. I want to move on because I want to ask you about Mitt Romney, but it is true that he came into a situation that no modern U.S. president has come into in terms of how bad the economy is.
He has made it worse.
Let me ask you, is there anything that Mitt Romney could do for you that would make you support him publicly more wholesomely?
Well, I thought the other day when I gave my speech suspending the campaign, I was pretty clear. I went over.
You said he's better than the president.
But that's the first thing you want to say to people is, look, this is not some magic show. You're either going to get Barack Obama or you're going to get Mitt Romney. Now, I don't see how any conservative, given that choice, could end up favoring Barack Obama. And that's what it's going to come down to. Mitt Romney has many strong things. I mean, first of all, he won. I didn't win. Rick Perry didn't win. Michelle Bachmann didn't win. Rick Santorum didn't win. You have to have some respect for a guy who spent 6 years of his life, put together a serious national campaign, made the case. In the two debates that were decisive, frankly, he beat me, and I beat him in a lot of other debates. But when it got to the crunch and it was he had to do it or die, he did it. And so I have great respect for him. I think that and I'm not quite sure what the magic words, as you all in the media want out of me. So let me say this. I believe that Mitt Romney will be a dramatically better president for the United States than Barack Obama. I believe that he has earned the right to represent the Republican Party, and he's earned it the hard way. He has fought his way to the nomination. Nobody gave him an inch. And
do you want something from him? Or are you willing to? Do you want to speak at the convention? Do you need help with your debt? Or is there any kind of that negotiation going on?
No. There's no negotiation. If they think I'm helpful speaking at the convention, I'm glad to do it. I've done lots of conventions in my career, and as you were proving this morning, I can get on TV fairly often with or without speaking at the convention. Obviously, I'd love help with paying off the debt. I'd love help from anybody. I don't think President Obama's going to do it, but anybody else, if they want to go to NEWT.org, we're grateful. But I approach this from a very different angle. I have been active as a Republican since 1958, when I was between my freshman and sophomore years in high school. I believe the Republican Party is very important to our future. What I want Mitt Romney to do is help us achieve a victory in the Senate, the House, and the presidency, and then I want him to give my grandchildren a better future than they're going to get under Barack Obama. That's all I ask out of him.
Do you have a date set to campaign with him?
We're talking about several dates. I think we're also talking about several major events we're going to do together. And I've said to the campaign, I will be available at their convenience to do anything they want me to do. because they're in charge, and this is their campaign. They've got to win it, and I've got to be there as an associate, but I'm not the leader. Mitt Romney's the leader.
Would you be number 2?
Oh, I can't imagine it. I mean, you've known me for years. Would you pick me to be number 2?
Well, that's a wholly different story. Let's deal with the reality of it. Would you be Mitt Romney's number 2?
I think Romney's going to look for somebody who is younger. I think he's going to, he's got somebody like Kelly Ayotte in New Hampshire, Rob Portman, Marco Rubio. You look at Susana Martinez or Bobby Jindal, or you look at somebody like Mitch Daniel. I mean, we have a really deep bench now.
You brought up the Senate.